So, tonight I want to talk about serving and sacrifice. That's what I want to talk about this evening. And I want to begin, I can't think of any better way to begin by saying thank you for all the help and support every single person here has given me towards this summer serving with Young Life. Next month, which brings me on to the talk, really, quite well. And I've chosen a verse out of the letter from James, because I feel like it's just so relatable in this day and age. He wrote it probably around 50 AD, was it, the letter? And still it rings so true and relatable today in everything that we do. So, I just want to talk about a little bit about James first. He's ever so good at telling us within his letter how we're meant to live as Christians, or what a Christian is meant to be. Offering us practical teachings in the way he says, just like I said, very relatable, so relatable in today. He also talks about something quite interesting about suffering, and when suffering, having joy at the same time. Now this can be quite confusing when reading it, but it's something recently I've come across in summer staff training course I've been doing online in preparation for next month. There was a question in it, something like, "What do you in which ways do you feel like you're going to perhaps suffer this summer, and how can you counter this?" And some of the answers in the course, and as well as my own, were with joy. And how can you have joy in that situation? But it's through concentrating on the direct mission that you're on, and that is to serve God. Serve God. And that's, I think, how you counter the suffering. You forget about it. So at camp, when you don't want to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, when you might just want to go to sleep, or you feel like you're killing yourself each day. Sometimes you probably are. But it's just absolutely, it's just that power of God within you that carries you through each day. And I know it's not just my serving this summer, the reason I want to again this talk is because it's so topical at the moment. Most of Young Life at the moment is preparing. We've just seen Bill go off to serve. Most of Young Life, everyone here I think is going off to Scotland from Young Life to serve. And it is really that direct power of God through us that keeps us going. And another thing James encourages us to do so much throughout what he says is prayer. And again, that carries on with how you keep your energy up and you keep joy when suffering. It's through prayer. You pray for energy. You pray for friends. You pray for each other. You pray for health, and you pray. And it's so powerful. And something I read someone else say was that faith, true faith, can't stop, but motivates towards action. And that's what I want to talk about tonight. It's faith and action. And the verse I've chosen, I'm just going to read the verse so that we've got it, is James, if you have a Bible, it's James chapter 2, verses 14 to 17. And it goes like this. "What good is it, my brothers and sisters, if someone claims to have faith, has no deeds? Can such faith save them? Suppose a brother or sister is without clothes and daily food. If one of you says to them, 'Go in peace, keep warm, well fed,' but does nothing about their physical needs, what good is it? In the same way, faith by itself, if it is not accompanied by action, is dead." So it's about faith. You have to show action. And it's that last sentence that strikes me, which is in the same way, faith by itself is not accompanied. If it is not accompanied by action, is dead. Which again goes back to one of the summer staff questions I was asked during the training. He said, what do you feel, or what do you believe the difference between a living sacrifice is and a dead sacrifice? And I sort of thought, maybe the dead sacrifice is literally a dead sacrifice, something that's dead being offered. Or maybe it's a sacrifice that sees nothing happen afterwards. Maybe it's just something initial, but then there's no impact from it. But then I also read up, had a little research of what other people said, and they said that it could be being sacrificed or just living through life without, or more for yourself rather than for God. And then a living sacrifice, I feel like, is a sacrifice you give. A big example, when you're baptised, you sacrifice yourself and leave the old behind. Perhaps that's also a dead sacrifice. The person you leave behind, you've sacrificed them, that's gone, you've been reborn. But a living sacrifice is, I think, one of our duties as Christians to show God through what we do, our actions, to go out and just be His light, really, through what we do. And through Young Life, that's definitely. But it's not just Young Life, all these big things we're doing this camp. We're fulfilling the mission of Young Life, which is just to show as many young people to God as possible. But it's, as Christians, what we do every single day, we can sacrifice and serve every single day. I think that's our obligation to, through what we do, show others of Jesus. And we sacrifice. We can sacrifice all sorts of things. Sacrifice our egos, our finances, our time, to show who God is, really. And it can be through the little things, especially at work and that, obviously. It can be anything that shows or makes people question, why are they so kind, or why are they so helpful? What do they want is probably usually the reaction. What do they want? But it can be anything from just helping someone's broken down, push their car off the side of the road, or helping someone with their bags, the car, or just sitting down with someone, or just listening to people is a massive thing that's completely sort of underestimated. A lot of people just want to be listened to. So I feel our obligations as Christians really is to just be the light of God, and through what we do, show Jesus, and make people question what we're doing. That's a good thing, because then, what's that? And then they'll be interested. This can even be another example, which keeps coming back to my head right now, is about homeless. I mean, it's like you said, Ben, about as Christians we're very good at helping the homeless, but we're not so good at knowing the homeless. And I think, speaking to a friend the other day, it's so important, especially with this situation, to just go out of our way. It doesn't cost us much, really, when you look at it. Anything it does cost us isn't really ours anyway, I don't feel. Or it's very insignificant in the big picture. So I think it's something we can all do every day. And in regards to the homeless, just listening to going by, someone's asking for help, of course give it, but also just a bit of time. It doesn't cost anything, just to go over and talk, have a conversation. And it's great. It's just exciting to be representing the greatest person there is, I find. It's such a privilege, it's such a, it doesn't live up to the word I'm thinking of, but it's just to represent God, show others to God. Absolutely amazing.